This podcast is recorded in front of a live audience.
That's not.
Shut up!
Sorry.
Who are you talking to?
You sound like a crazy man.
Alright. This is our first podcast for MattG Gaming, and we're calling it the MattG Podcast. Because we're original like that. I'm MattG.
I'm Ray.
I'm the Asian David.
And I'm Mr. TechX.
And we have the boss baby with us as well. Alright, so this is going to be a big step up for us. We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be talking about quite a lot of stuff. We've had an entire year of movies, games. So, before we kick off, I'm just going to talk about our favourite writing tool, Campfire. Yeah, it's a lifesaver to both cavemen and writers everywhere. Campfire Tech is basically a kick-ass writing tool for writers like you, me, and Ray.
Yeah.
But basically, people have so much going on that we've A, run out of places to put our notes, and or B, couldn't be asked to organise it like a sane person for ourselves anyway, which is basically me. But basically, all of these ideas have sunk into the schmuck of obscurity, and Campfire is the solution. Keeps track of literally everything from character bios to event timetables to even the map building software to build up lands, cultures, and even keeps track of who is banging who at any one time, which in my work is pretty much everyone. Don't know about you, Ray, but I personally filled up like entire terabytes of computer stuff to build up in notes, and I've got no I'm exaggerating. So me. Yeah, but I have no idea where everything was. Along came Campfire, they nuked it all up and put it in with something that made sense.
Yes.
It's customizable, uses a really kick-ass and simple drag-and-drop system. Your products are just a mouse click away. Unless you're one of those weirdos who has like a wireless mouse and they call them hamsters for some reason.
Do they?
Yeah, apparently. This is what nerds do with their time.
What? So the wireless mouse is called a hamster?
Yeah, pretty much. Because it doesn't have a tail.
Mouse doesn't have to. What do you do? Hamster doesn't have a tail.
No. They do.
They're
They're very small. Yeah, it's just really, really small.
It's just called a wireless mouse.
Yeah, but some people call it a hamster for some reason.
Alright.
Back to Campfire. Basically, it's a place to go where you get all your creative mess sorted out. They've got a free trial going at the minute, so follow the link in the description below to check it out. Enjoy. Alright. And I would also like to give a big shout out to the iskcon Wimbledon meditation group. Bit of community spirit. Check them out. I'll put a link in the description as well. Alright, so what are we talking about?
Movies, and games.
Oh, games, right. Yeah, it's a gaming channel, so yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't game at all, so you guys can talk about gaming while I sit here, finish my drink.
Fine, have the baby.
No, I'm not I'm not ready to be a dad.
Well, we thought you were already a dad.
I'm not a dad, I'm just old.
Well, given that we're all old and stuff, we should probably talk about the smaller things in life, like trailers.
Yeah.
So, what trailers are we seeing, guys?
Game trailers. So we started with the games first.
So we got the non-gamer googling games, which is quite hilarious in itself, seeing as he doesn't actually game.
I do games sometimes. I mean,
yeah,
I watch games on YouTube.
Yeah, watching games and playing them does not. But
you kind of get the idea of it.
You get the idea of it, but
I mean, I think games has become kind of a movie on its own. It became its own blockbuster.
Yeah, speaking of trailers, we watched this trailer earlier on. What was it for?
Death Stranding.
Yeah, and the cinematics for it, they literally look fucking fantastic. But I mean,
Death Stranding is just a weird game.
Yeah, I had no idea what the hell was going on. But, I mean, I got that they were in a really bad situation, but why did they have a baby with them? I mean,
I don't know. I think they would just explain something cool about the baby. Maybe just reverses their age. I want them to actually do that. The baby just like regenerates the hook or something.
Yeah, but, I mean, I could understand if it was. What I would like it to be is like some really controversial thing about like stem cell research or something like that. Yeah, where like midway through the game you have to like choose to sacrifice the kid or not.
Do you watch the South Park? I think Superman eats a baby, and he gets his legs back.
How hungry was he?
No, they were making fun of Christopher Reeves being in a wheelchair, and for him to become Superman, he has to eat like stem cell babies. I hope it doesn't become like that. Intriguing enough that the rain actually makes the person age.
I get that they're surrounded by ghosts and all that, but I didn't get the thing that was walking invisible on his hands. That was, I mean, it was brilliantly eerie. So, I just think that I find it weird, right? This thing doesn't detect them because they're holding their breath and stuff like that. But the guy literally has this lamp right next to him. He's shining it at the thing and is like flapping, making all sorts of noise, and everyone's like, "Don't say anything, don't make any noise," and stuff like that. And this thing just walks past this lights that go bling, 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 bling.
It's scary, yeah.
Yeah, the bit where he was stabbing himself because he was so desperate to kill himself. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. But I'm kind of intrigued to see what happens with the baby and the whole thing. His latest trailer does show that he's carrying a person for delivery at the back.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like
I would hate for this entire game to basically just be a film about space adoption systems or something like that.
Could be just like FedEx or UPS.
Yeah.
UPS in space.
That would be both weird and wonderful at the same time.
Just delivering
I can
packages at the back.
I can just imagine you load up. You buy the game, you install it, you pop it in, and all of a sudden this logo comes up. This game is brought to you by UPS.
They're stranded. Post office in the future. The guy just delivering parcels in another galaxy, and
it's like
they get stranded in a planet that changes time when rain hits them. The guy's just waiting for it.
Yeah, he's the crossbow guy from The Walking Dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but I'm a bit behind the times where graphics are concerned and stuff, but I love games where you can actually recognise the characters by the people who play them.
William Dafoe, the guy, he was in Ellen Page. Ellen Page, I think she done a game, PS4 game. I think Beyond Two Souls or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and you can actually see Ellen Page.
I mean, it's going back a while, but the Call of Duty series, Advanced Warfare, you can. Kevin Spacey in that is
I remember Kevin Spacey.
He is vivid in that. I remember my wife came in while I was playing one of the cutscenes, and she's like, "Oh, what are you watching?" And I'm not. I'm playing COD. And stuff like that.
Why is that Kevin Spacey? What's he doing?
And so,
that's what just call it. Not Dash Strand, just post office. On his face.
You'd have to get some really hardcore guys to read out and put Death Stranded, post office. In space,
walking parcel of dead body. Just
there's flaming building behind him.
Just lost an Amazon Prime delivery.
Some guy pulls a shotgun and Amazon.
For some reason, I can see you doing that.
That'd be an awesome job, though. Delivering at gunpoint.
How come we saw Dash Stranded is basically post office in space? Alright, so next game I think we're gonna hit on is Last of Us Part 2. Anticipated game.
Yeah, but these two have been wanting to talk about that for ever since we decided to go do this. Which admittedly was yesterday, but still, it seems like a long time.
So that's bad. You have a full knowledge of Last of Us Part 1?
Yeah, come on, Dave.
Yeah, so starts out initially with one guy, Joel, him and his daughter.
Very depressing.
Starts off Joel. His daughter unfortunately dies within the first 10 minutes of the game.
Spoilers!
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's just bad parenting.
But then he's on his own for about 20 years until he meets a girl by the name of Ellie. It's basically, from there on in, it's just a game of survival against zombies. You get spores,
It's pretty much an escort game. You have to deliver this girl to a company.
I mean, I've seen people play the game. I've done watch-throughs and stuff like that. But it's is he some sort of superhuman or something? Because he can see
he's just old.
He's just refined his senses, so he's got better hearing and all that. So
is he?
He's just really refined his senses. So
I think he's really experienced.
Yeah, he's experienced.
Yeah, that's basically what he's trying to say.
So basically, he crouches, and you've probably played the game, but where the screen goes grey, it means he's really listening, which is quite interesting.
Oh yeah. No, I saw gameplay of that. Yeah, and then you have to kind of distract all the.
Yeah, distract. You can do Molotov cocktails, which are pretty good.
Yeah, you have to craft.
So you get the big bloopers. You just throw one of them at them and you just get a huge fireball.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
The premise of the game is you just have to escort this girl into a company. Well, my question to you guys, do you think Joel is still alive at last Wars Party?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, because the entire trailer is about the girl, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about the girl, yeah. But the first trailer has his voice. I mean, he does speak in the trailer.
Yeah, but that can mean literally anything.
It could be someone from
could be a flashback, could just be her imagining it.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't know if he's alive.
No, but actually, the trailer could have an air of mystery about it. It's just maybe it's more focused on Ellie and Joel assisting her, rather than Joel being the main character and Ellie assisting him.
So
do you think it will work in the video game? Do you think?
I don't know.
Joel would be like an old guy.
Well, Assassin's Creed pulls it off quite well, where they have a main character from another game coming into the game that you're currently playing and just being a side character. So they did that. Yeah, they did that in Liberation. I mean, admittedly, it's going back a bit. But,
so there are games that has like a main character from the old game.
Yeah, so
as a side character.
Basically, Assassin's Creed Liberation works more or less at the same time as Assassin's Creed 3. And you have a mission where you go to the Assassin's Creed 3 character's place, and he is just a side character who is helping you do your thing, and then you never hear from him again. So, but it has been done before.
Yeah, I think Dragon Age had that.
Yeah. So.
Oh no, Red Dead Redemption has that.
No,
the first.
But Dragon Age did that to extreme levels. Where you'd be like, "Oh, cool! I used to bang that character."
Uncharted, there's Chloe. She was in the second and third Uncharted.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, so she was a bit of first on and off main-ish character on the second one, and then the third one, she dropped out.
Because there was that British dude, that British pop guy, and Chloe as well. Both of them were working together. But I think when he jumped off I think they were
broke his leg.
Yeah, he broke his leg. That's what I remember.
How debilitating in a video game. Bearing in mind that we play video games where characters break their legs and have their spines ripped out and have swords impaled through their faces.
Well, this is a big blockbuster game. You care about these characters.
And half a brain cut out with a blunt knife.
Yeah, and they just oh yeah, I'm fine.
No, you die. If you die, walk it off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Has anyone seen the new Mortal Kombat trailer?
Oh my god, that looks awesome.
I don't know the music, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
the music it threw me off at first. It kind of grew on me after a while, but the music kind of threw me off. But it's like a rap music in the background.
Yeah, the thing that I don't like about all of the Mortal Kombat trailers is that they're always Scorpion.
Yeah, he's the main. I mean, he's been there since when I was young.
I get that, but you got an entire arsenal of other characters and stuff like that. So you could have at least. If they do a trailer where he fights literally every single character in the Mortal Kombat,
that would be a very long trailer.
No, but I mean, it's him against everyone else, and he's killing them all in one move or something like that. Yeah, and the entire point of it is just to show just how agile the special effects are and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is kind of. It's not like that in the gameplay, but the trailer kind of is more expensive to make that kind of animation in the trailer. So they kind of have to put the good bits in to impress us. But the music it's okay. I mean,
you don't really want the music to do the heavy lifting of the thing.
Yeah, it's not like the old music, that arcade music.
I love that music.
Finish him.
What's me off games like that is, particularly with Mortal Kombat, you have the super moves that you can do, where they go X-ray and they show people getting their spines broken and their ball sacks crushed and stuff like that.
Ball sacks crushed.
All of this stuff happens, and then they just get up and it's nothing's happened to me whatsoever.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine. And stuff like that.
You just see a patch of blood on the floor. And
but you don't even see that. It's not even an animation of oh god, that hurts. They dislocate their arm back.
That's why you kind of have two kind of audience that kind of splits off. One that is like the classic, who likes the fighting games, unrealistic.
Yeah.
Then you have the newer games, which is more realistic.
But I think with the older games, they could get away with it because the graphics were crap.
And also, now they have to implement more story. That's why Injustice 1 and 2 kind of became successful, because it is a fighting game, but also there is a whole story as well into it. So that's the only thing that will survive is the story.
Well, one of my pet hates about video games is when you play a level, and you're specifically trying to avoid something from happening, i.e. you losing in some way. And then by you winning, then causes that thing to happen. So say like you're in a castle and you're defending the gate, and by winning that battle, the gate is then destroyed. Yeah, but that's stuff that I really hate, and there was a lot of stuff in Injustice about that. You know, like you play as a character. Oh no, you're going up against Superman.
Yeah.
You beat Superman, and then the following cutscene is Superman beating your character. Yeah, and stuff like that. So,
I don't know, it has to follow. I mean, to get people still interested, it has to kind of.
Oh yeah, but it's like
RPG, like. Yeah.
I do get that, but I don't want to be like screwed over by the game that I've just invested time and money in.
So, has anyone heard about the new Crash Team Racing coming out?
Yeah. No, I saw that in E3, I think. E3, wasn't it? There was like the remastering Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, so...
It kind of gave me that Mario Kart kind of vibe, I'd say.
Well, I can't say what one came out. Personally, I do prefer Mario Kart.
The thing is, I was nostalgic with the noises and the sound.
Well, in the Mario?
No, the thing is, Crash Nitro Kart. When I heard the sounds and people moving around, I was like, okay, that's really nostalgic. That kind of takes me back to Crash Kart.
Yeah. Saying that,
another Naughty Dog game.
On the subject of Crash, I've got the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy. Yeah. I haven't played much of it, but I'm probably going to start playing it again once I finish the Uncharted games.
Have you played the original Crash Bandicoot?
Yes. So on the subject of in Uncharted 4, there is a full game in-game version of Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, one of them.
With a PlayStation 1 there as well.
Yeah, I think it was meant to be that lady with on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, so you get that twice. Once at the start of the game, and once at the end, where you play as Nathan's daughter.
You play Nathan's daughter?
Just for about 5 minutes, yeah.
I think they were in the seaside.
Yeah.
You know what I was watching that. I just wished it should have done that. The daughter thing. Like if they made her like Laura Croft or something.
No.
Because that would have been that would have just made me like explode my mind. If that daughter, then Nathan Drake is like they changed the names or something. And they're now the Croft family and that little girl is Laura Croft.
Yeah.
And just ended the game there and wouldn't that be cool though?
I'll be honest, I couldn't see that working myself, because the way that ended was a natural end for Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
In the sense he retired from the fortune hunting for good.
And they were showing the girl the history and stuff.
Yeah.
And in my mind I was thinking that would have been so cool if she was like, kind of like a made up name, like Laura Croft. Like they changed the names or something to run away.
No, but they
her name was Laura and the surname Croft, and I thought,
yeah, but saying that, they probably would have kept their identity the same, but just retired from that world.
Yeah, then you would have had that Tomb Raider would be more valuable because of her father was always an archaeologist, and then that would have been Nathan Drake when he was younger.
Right, so what were the other games that we wanted to talk about? Tech, you wanted to talk about the new challenge stuff that's on Scrap Mechanic, didn't you?
That's true. So, for people who don't know what the game is...
watch the channel. We've got like 2 or so videos on it.
Yeah, I hope you're going to make a third one soon.
Yep. Turn your phone off.
But no, basically, you can build your own contraptions, motor vehicles, or whatever. And they've just released challenge mode. So, one example, well, it's basically getting from A to B while doing certain objectives. For example, one of them, you have to get through a very small little narrow gap to get to the end. Or another one, you have to try and jump over a big gap without falling to your death. This just come out. I should hopefully be doing some videos on that as well. So
yeah, definitely. So it's probably going to be our next to-do thing on the channel.
Oh, that'd be a good idea. Both of us try and do a challenge, but do it at the same time. Then have a race up to see who can actually solve the challenge first.
Let's think. Out of all of the videos that we've made, who has made monstrosity vehicles that have absolutely no point to them whatsoever, who has actually managed to do anything at all in these episodes. I wonder what that ratio is.
Yeah, across the cart wasn't too bad. It's just you didn't drive it very well.
Yeah, but you still won like 3 out of 3 rounds.
What's that coin name? The one that's like
the frog.
Yeah, that's the first video I seen. Wow.
Yeah, that's the first one we did. But legitimately, I did practice that like 2 months in advance.
Yeah, 2 months to get one car working.
It worked.
And I just saw
it worked right up until I did the paint job for it.
No, I remember how excited you were. Like, Ray, watch this. This is our first video.
Yeah.
And I just saw
Those
this
videos are
little frog thing just making its way towards the end.
No, that's the point. It wasn't.
Oh, that was a hilarious video. But saying that, the New Year's Eve, the Stickman game was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Oh yeah, that was good.
We should definitely do that again. But like every single person that we know, like involved in that one game.
Yeah. Tell you what, if we all go to Comic Con, we could probably do something like that in the evening.
Well, all of us do Stickman. It's Comic Con.
Yeah. Yeah, we just need to get
guns rain out from the sky.
No, we just get different coloured morph suits. Yeah. Yeah, different coloured morph suits. Ray, you can have the gothic colours.
What's Gothic colours?
Black.
Unless we want to go to Comic Con as like gang-based characters, I'll be the primary.
We're basically going to be like Power Rangers. All in colourful, just walking in.
So, since we're talking about updates, I'd just like to talk about 7 Days to Die. I don't know if anybody's played that since the big alpha update, but I have to say that the graphics on this thing are suddenly amazing. I will say, I was quite annoyed that I had this really epic game going. I had everything that I could possibly want in the game, and then this pad comes out, and the game's not compatible anymore, so I have to delete it all and start again. Yes.
You probably roll back to the previous version in the new game.
Yeah, I didn't know that though, so I deleted it before I realised that.
Yeah, but saying that, 7 Days to Die is still a pretty good game. It is still a very good game.
Oh,
it's like condensing, just give me an idea what's up.
You start off as a guy with nothing in a zombie apocalypse era. At night, the zombies can run and do double damage. And every 7 nights, an army of zombies locks onto your location and tries to kill you.
So you have to kind of survive.
Oh yeah. But like, you got like hunger, food, heat waves.
It's similar to that game. Any other games you're excited to? Anything you want to buy?
Well, I'm really looking forward to the new Total War game, Three Kingdoms. But because they've had games which are like Rome, Napoleon, medieval times. This is the first ever game which is going to be in Imperial China. Yeah, so like Great War China versus Mongols sort of thing. It's going to be awesome.
And when's that coming out?
March, I think. So.
Now, I know a lot of people are looking forward to this Kingdom Hearts game coming out.
Yeah, I'm not as enthralled by that. But I think Kingdom Hearts is a game that should have sort of hung up its cape a little while ago. I mean, I guess. Yeah, but, I mean, I get Disney is constantly evolving and they want to keep everything together, but look, it's the same kid over and over and over again. He'd probably be in like his 30s by now, and yeah, he's like the same as before.
Legend of Zelda just keeps getting hungry.
Didn't you all talk about Cyberpunk?
Yes.
Get off your phone.
No, I'm looking at anticipated movies, but it just keeps showing me your location to your house. Cyberpunk, have you played Witcher 3?
No.
Alright, wow.
Has anybody in this room played Cyber 3? Put Witcher 3 aside from Ray.
I've seen
apparently for a guy who hasn't played games, I played the biggest games.
I play more indie games than the playpad.
Yeah, I play more. Yeah, from like 5 years ago because I can afford it now.
You're still with Humble Bundle, aren't you?
Yes.
So.
There's a game I heard of, Celeste. What's the indie game? Isn't it Celeste?
You do realise that indie just covers like every single game that isn't covered by like a major brand.
No, they're small games. They're like really like indie, small developer games.
They're not necessarily small developer games. They're just like...
Are they?
No.
Indie leagues like small
It's
developer
basically just a low budget game.
Yeah, that's like indie developers. Like
Yeah, but you can still have the big
a really
companies.
good...
like in the garage with
indie game.
the 90s.
Yeah, you can still have some
Windows
really...
95 and they just
Yeah, you can still have some really
good.
good indie games. Like 7 Days to Die is an indie game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Is it?
Yeah.
And it's actually quite entertaining.
Yeah, they're good description.
Shut up.
There's one game that I've just found out about yesterday called Vulcanoid.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
What's that indie game?
Yeah, kind of. It was in alpha for years and years and years, and it's coming out in the next month or so.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
What's it about?
Basically, you're in this world, and volcanoes are erupting every 10 minutes. You basically have to survive in this world by building massive tanks.
But they're not.
It's like Fortnite.
No, you think these are more
volcanoes.
like. Have you ever seen the movie? It's called Core.
Yeah.
Then you've got that big machine that goes down.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So you've got a big drilling machine, which
To go inside a volcano.
Yeah,
you basically have to survive by going underground when the volcano erupts.
I just go away from the volcano.
No, because the arena isn't that big.
Game of the aim of the game is to stop the volcano from erupting.
It's pretty much like a very indie. Isn't that really indie? Isn't that Castlevania kind of indie? Like a side scroller.
No,
It's like an 8-bit
3D world.
It's like an 8-bit of a volcano just erupting. And you're like a little Mario character just popping side to side.
No, you're a guy with a shotgun.
Avoiding lava.
No, you're a guy with a socket wrench, a pickaxe, and a shotgun.
It's like a Minecraft.
That's the way.
It's the blocky.
Yeah,
we could run on my laptop. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, and for Ray, in that game there will be a bear. Because because you know how much Ray loves
Oh
bears.
yeah, I want to fight there. That's like one of my resolutions. Get really drunk and just fight there.
Alright, so when you get a PC and we log you onto the 7 Days to Die, we will put you in a fist fight with a bear to see who wins.
Like a tiny bear. I don't want like a massive.
Panda.
Yeah, I'll punch you in the face.
Yeah, but then you'll be like that guy on Tropic Thunder and you'll like call your agent and be like, I killed a panda.
Yeah, that'll be you. But seriously, we're going to put you up against a 10-foot grizzly.
Yeah.
And, because it's twice your size.
Oh, why?
So you can punch it in the face.
No, you wouldn't be able to reach its face. You need a step ladder. Be like, hold on a second.
I would.
Go to B&Q,
As
build
long
a
as
step
it's
ladder.
sleeping.
Oh, you punch someone in their sleep.
Just do it. Just do it as a deer.
deer.
No, because if you punch it, you would have enough time to run.
Like a pussy.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're gonna die, dude.
I thought that was the point.
Alright, if he has a deer,
you were getting into a fight with a bear because you wanted to get yourself killed.
don't get much. If you punch in the face like really hard, but you run, but.
Oh, a bear can run faster than you.
Okay, how about you climb a tree? The bear can't climb trees, can they?
No, but they can put their full weight against their tree and knock it over.
A really massive tree.
Yeah, they can.
Alright, so we're gonna... Right.
So you're ready to climb this tree.
So we're planning on you punching a bear in the...
a sleeping bear.
A bear. Right, so we need to find a bear that's asleep, that is nearby a conveniently placed very thick tree for you to climb up.
Yeah.
And how do you propose to climb that tree?
Yeah, that happens to have a grappling hook attached to it.
You can climb trees. I mean,
Go on, Matt, do you have any trees in your garden?
the thing is, you climbed the tree before you punched the bear in the face. I mean,
but
just
how
to
are you going to punch the bear in the face if you're already up in the tree then?
He's going to throw a bee's nest on it.
I'm sure anyone can climb a tree. They're not that hard to climb.
This does actually sound like...
Some of them have branches.
This does actually sound like an indie game that you can play. Like, so,
really, a side scroller, you just aim it like Mario.
Where you just walk up to a bear and you punch it, and you have to run to this conveniently placed tree that has a grappling hook fires. Like if the bear kills you, you lose. If you get up into the tree, you win.
Zach, would you punch a sleeping bear in the face and then climb up the tree? For $1 million, come on.
I'd punch you in the face for £1 million.
I'll punch you in the face for free.
Yeah, but if I punch you in the face for £1 million, I'll be £1 million better off.
No, I'll punch it for free.
Yeah,
I'll come back and just smack out and punch it.
Yeah.
Then climb the tree. Because you're a bitch.
Yeah. Well,
okay, and on that point,
I like Far Cry.
So lately I've been playing Farming Simulator.
Oh yeah, so you were telling me about that. We watched this video back in the day.
Are you playing or I've been living simulating your life?
Well, it's on the early game. It's kind of you farm yourself, but then it turns more into farming manager. So you can hire workers to then plough your field and harvest the field, and you can buy pigs, you can buy cows, horses,
do you have any
chickens.
It's like every animal will produce something that you can sell off, even if it's down to their shit. Yes.
Yeah. So you can use the shit for fuel.
Yeah, but
or you can sell it. Or make it into fertilizer.
I'd rather play like GTA or something.
Yeah, and I'll just get a pig that will shit in your head.
But the ironic thing is that you physically have to drive the stuff from your farm to the shop, right? And during that phase, you can GTA the living fuck out of the local traffic. If you want to
I was saying a couple of weeks ago we was playing, and I was playing with a friend, and he thought it'd be a good idea to unload everything on the train tracks.
What was his pig shit?
I will admit this person was not me.
Actually, to be fair, it's soybeans.
So
then
the
train came.
So the train tracks were highly protonated, and the soybeans were.
So basically, in the single player game, you can control the train. So you can load up all your products into the train and take the train around and unload it all. Or what my friend decided to do is as we play multiplayer, we can't use the train. So we filled it up inside the truck, took the truck over and started emptying it where the train normally empties. To be fair, it works until the train comes.
What would it make a difference?
Yeah, it's a train.
Train versus soybean. Which one do you think will
in
win?
front of the train?
Oh, but why would you drive the car?
Because he's an idiot. Because he was an idiot.
Oh, you just drove it in?
No, he parked on the train tracks for a load.
Did you park?
No, it wasn't me.
It wasn't him. So then, of course, the game glitched out. His cart and trailer got stuck on the train. He done about 3 laps of the map. It goes in a huge circle. And his car gets basically wedged between a fence and the trailer was still on the train. So the game glitched out, the trailer kept on going, the car was there, they flung off like a slingshot, ended up right in the corner of the map, in the sky. Just staying there. And the funny thing is, he wasn't actually there when it happened. But he recorded it, so...
that's just bad farming management.
Well, that's what you have. That's how you pay a hobo to do your work for you.
But, there's another unloading point about 50 yards around the corner. So, that is quite interesting.
I heard it's Goat Simulator.
Ghost Simulator?
Goat Simulator.
Goat, yeah.
Or is that the one where you can get zombie goats and Viking goats and
curry goats?
It became popular, that game.
Yeah, it did. I remember.
It was supposed to be this joke of a game.
Yeah.
And it just picked up, and everyone just started playing Goat Simulator.
I would love to be like the guy who invented that game, and and he was like, okay, I'm just gonna put this out, just because I feel like it. Like a week later, he's in Cuba with massive cigars, sunglasses.
Oh yes, the sunglasses, and this game ran over.
And I believe someone made a swan simulator.
I heard that, but I've never been able to find it.
So you're basically a swan going around biting people.
I think they just started copying
and stealing stuff.
Alright, so is that everything about games?
I don't know if there's any Call of Duty.
Well, there's Black Ops 3, which is out now, isn't it? I'm in the process of playing World War 2. And I don't usually rush out to get Call of Duty games, but whenever I get them, I really like them. I'm not feeling that so much with this game. There's so far been one bit which I've actually enjoyed.
Zombies.
No, there's basically this bit where you control a tank driver, and you and your guy have to go and reinforce the other person that you play as, and but your guy rushes on ahead and gets blown up, as usually happens, and you basically have to go through this grid system. You have to hide from the enemy tank, get around it, and blow it up, but without it finding you, sort of thing. And then you sort of do that, and then 2 more tanks turn up, and you got to do the same with them. Yeah, it's real strategy-orientated stuff, but that's the only good bit in the game that I've figured out so far. Yeah, but I mean the graphics are standard Call of Duty sort of level. I can't remember what his name is, but he plays the head soldier in the Transformers films. So
Optimus Prime.
No, not Optimus Prime. The soldier. You wanker.
Optimus Prime.
Like Lennox or whatever his name is. He plays sort of like one of the main characters in that, and the graphics are good enough that you can immediately tell it's him.
Yeah. Similar like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, but that is literally the only good thing I have to say about it. The physics are a bit weird. Like you can shoot a bullet through a brick wall, right, and hit someone. But you can't shoot it through a pile of discarded hay. There's this bit where you're fighting in a farm, right? And the Germans are basically taking cover behind these massive mounds of hay, and you can't shoot through the hay in order to
I just love it. Multiplayer, people just run, take cover behind hay. There's one guy behind the brick wall. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? The hay is like a. Alright, let's just go. Should we go into movies then?
Yeah.
Let's start with the least anticipated movie of the year, which I don't want to watch. Captain Marvel. So-called Marvel time to do a woman superhero movie because Wonder Woman did well. And hopefully it doesn't end up like Elektra or Catwoman.
I quite like Elektra.
Oh yeah, I liked her as well.
It's just Ray. He thinks all films are forgettable these days.
Do you remember the last film that you saw?
No, he doesn't.
We watched it. We watched Aquaman together.
He legitimately paused.
Yeah,
you had to think about it. I saw smoke coming out of your ears.
Well, yeah, because there's so many movies that I can't be bothered, anyway. I'm working. I'm tired.
Captain
Marvel, what do you think?
You're such an old man.
I will watch Captain Marvel simply because it's in the Avengers storyline. Yeah, but with it being hinted at the end of Infinity War, I feel I'll have to watch it in order to understand something that'll happen in Endgame.
Captain Marvel, so let's just rate it out of 10. Like, how excited are we?
I have watched one trailer for it, and I specifically watched it in anticipation of this podcast.
So out of 10, how excited are we for Captain Marvel? That?
3-ish.
3? I would say 4. I mean 5, just because
I'll say 5 because special effects do look good.
And also it is one of those categories like Ant-Man.
And it does have like a young Nick Fury in it.
Alright.
And he does look pretty cool.
I'm kind of neutral about it.
So 5.
Yeah. I mean, the main reason I want to see it is because it links in with Endgame and all of that.
Yeah, that's the only reason we have to watch it, because of that. In cinemas.
What about you, Tech?
I'll put that 5 as well.
What about you, baby? You don't care.
Well, she's a lady, so I think she'll be happy for it.
She's not even looking at me when I'm talking to her, so that's just rude.
Little one, don't be rude, please.
Out of 10, what would you give Captain Marvel? 9.
It's a woman in power.
Yeah.
What are you, Matt?
I said 5.
And reasons of why is it 5?
I just do not give a shit whatsoever. I will watch it because it's MCU and because it's got a young Nick Fury in it.
Right. Yeah. Next film, Toy Story 4.
Haven't given much thought.
Yeah, but I mean,
Toy Story 4?
Like Baby hasn't actually seen any Toy Story films at all. So,
she's still young.
Yeah, so but
you're like 1.
I would more than happily wait until it comes out on DVD.
Well, how excited out of 10 you would say for Toy Story 4?
I want her to see it, but I know that if I go to the movie theatres about it, it's going to be rammed with kids and random people who.
No, I think it's more adult because I think this is kind
nostalgia.
Yeah, but it's. I feel going to see it in the movies is going to be more hassle as well.
Unless you can see it on an odd day.
It's a film we want, but it's not. It's just we're not never up for.
To be fair, I wasn't a big fan of Toy Story 3, but I did enjoy 1 and 2.
Is that the one where they go to the nursery?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's good, kind of weird that it came out years after Toy Story 2. 1 and 2 had that kind of.
I can understand them doing stuff like that. You know, say like what they did with Star Wars. They did it 30 years later because the film was 30 years ago. Or 40, whatever the number was.
It's hard, it's good, but
I mean, it's not like they had child actors back in the day, and then they've gone back to see how those child actors have grown up, because it's Tom Hanks and all that.
Like Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
Did you watch Incredibles?
Yeah, it was. I liked it, but I didn't enjoy number 1. I just thought it was just too weird. And the second one made more sense than what the first one did. But I just don't understand, like, the mum's giant arse. I just don't understand that.
It's a Jamaican arse.
Yeah, it's like she's walking around with like a sombrero around her waist.
It's just one of those films it's good to have it there. It's just a sequel that we just thought.
One thing I like about it, well, not the Incredibles 2, but the first one, is Edna Mode. No capes.
Oh yeah, she's the little midget person with the cigar, isn't she?
Yeah. No capes. Seriously, no capes.
I have to admit though, a cape is capes look cool. I mean, I walk around in like Matrix coats whenever I'm in the streets and stuff because they feel cool. But but I'll run for a bus and I have to sort of bunch it onto one arm.
Phoenix. X-Men.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks good, but I don't care anymore about X-Men in all honesty. Like, I think if they were going to do X-Men, they should just start it completely from scratch now.
There are a few too many films.
They have done that with the Origins.
Yeah, but I know, but I think even that sort of run its course. I think it's because they just took too long with it, and they were dancing in between one saga and the next, and I'm one of the very few people who didn't like Logan. But,
what?
Yeah, but I mean, I know, but ever since I've seen Logan, I've had a sort of low opinion of where X-Men is going and stuff like that. So I don't deny it was an okay film. I won't say it was terrible, but out of all of the ways they could have killed off Wolverine, there were loads of other more cooler ways they could have done it.
Big film, hopefully. The Joker movie.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, sort of same here.
Yeah.
Is it still part of the DCU?
No, it's not part of the DCU. It's in the 80s.
Yeah, I'll be more than happy to say it just on the basis of the Joker. You know, but I wouldn't need to watch any trailers or anything to want to see that.
Shazam?
Yeah, Shazam I'm looking forward to. But I mean, he's not someone who I particularly follow in the DC universe, but
I think more exciting is Shazam because Aquaman.
Yeah, so I think it's because they followed this dark and morbid schmuck, and that hasn't done well. So they need to bring in someone comical into it, and sort of follow the same sort of road that Deadpool did. Yeah, Deadpool is a funny guy, and Deadpool did well. So therefore, if we have a funny guy, then we'll obviously do really well. Because having a Civil War movie right in the middle of our own series when Marvel had a Civil War worked wonders.
The next one is John Wick 3.
I haven't seen the first two, but I would watch it just on the basis that it's a Keanu Reeves movie where he just kills the living shit out of everybody. Yeah,
it's one of those movies. The first one. It's like it had that Taken effect, where it's just a normal movie, but it just picked up.
Yeah, and he just
so much popularity. Oh yeah, like Taken.
Yeah, I loved Taken. Even
it's like a really niche thing. And it just
it's like even the second and third ones, which people tore apart, I really loved those. Just because, of the sheer...
The first one was a joke.
Oh yeah, it was a joke, but it was a violent joke.
This old guy running.
Oh yeah, but it was a violent joke.
No, because there was this, everyone picked apart the scene where he has to jump over a fence, and the camera just has to shoot at like 15 different angles.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's just jumping like really fast, but he's so old that he just slowly... If it was uncut, just him just slowly just cuts it. But I have to shake the camera around so it looks like it's just like a young man jumping around and running.
You would have thought they'd have stunt doubles for stuff like that.
By another old guy.
Yeah, you could do that.
Huh?
You could do that. You're an old man.
Yeah, we have an Asian Liam Neeson in this room.
Just some fat guy with a strong boy here. Give me a sec.
Oh, can you do the Taken sort of phone call scene from?
What? I can't hear you.
How does the thing work?
Let me text you. I will kill you. Send
emoji.
Lol. Smiley face. The next film would be Spider-Man Homecoming Part 2.
You mean Far From Home?
Yeah. Spider-Man in London.
Well, he's not technically in London, he's in Europe. Bits of it are in London, but he's also in Venice. And
he's there.
Yeah, so
I'm sure that pretty much the whole gist of the movie is going to be London.
Oh yeah, probably. Because, for some reason, American studios love destroying London.
Yeah. Because what's he going to do in Venice?
Venice has fallen.
Would it be like any like big monuments in Venice that he can have like a really big action?
Well, yeah, the thing about Venice is that it's all, like, this building is particularly iconic because it's memorable, as opposed to, I mean, it's obviously got landscapes and landmarks and stuff, but the main sort of attraction of Venice is that massive waterway, which is like in every single like movie, and it's always the exact same bit, regardless of
any film.
Yeah, but
so it won't have much action. I think it will just be like a romance, like the romance scene in like Venice.
Well, but
I mean, in Mission Impossible, the sixth one, it was mostly in Europe, so like France had a chase scene.
It's like but I didn't particularly like watching the trailer because it took too much away from Endgame, I think. Yeah, because but
it's not really dead.
I know that the idea of him coming back is a given. Yeah, the whole thing is going to be fixed on the basis that they're the good guys and they have to win. But it's like, all of a sudden we now know that Fury is going to come back. We know that Spider-Man is going to come back.
Fury's coming? Oh yeah, because Fury was in it.
Yeah, and so we know that all of his friends and family are perfectly fine.
He's going to come back in the 90s as well.
And for the only reason that we know this isn't a prequel is because the director has specifically said this is not a prequel to Endgame. So we basically are seeing a world where nothing has apparently happened. Yeah, and it's, in my opinion, they should have at least waited until Endgame was at least out.
Before we get to Endgame, we could just talk about a couple of things. The Lion King. The live action.
Oh yeah, I would watch that just on the basis of it being The Lion King.
I think we all would, to be honest.
Yeah.
The one thing that I would hate for them to do though is if they fucked up the soundtrack.
I heard the soundtrack's actually going to be the same as what the original was.
Well, they said the same about the Jungle Book, but
they changed it.
Do you remember when we were in primary school and we had to do the Jungle Book soundtrack?
Yeah.
As part of our sort of like end of year project.
Yeah.
So we knew all of the songs but like the back of our hands, and there are very, very big differences between the movie Jungle Book song and the Disney one. Because the song that the monkey sings, for example, a lot of that song is done by the backing guys who are in the crowds and stuff. They take that bit out, and the song is absolutely pathetic because of it. Yeah, so I would hate for them to do something like that in The Lion King.
Right, before we get to Endgame, Star Wars episode 9?
Yeah. Are we
excited? I mean,
Star Wars
Last Jedi.
It's Star Wars, and more importantly, it's a main Star Wars film, so therefore I will watch it.
I think everyone will watch it.
The Last Jedi was a complete disaster, but
kind of like it that way.
I wouldn't say it was a terrible film. But if I wanted to watch a sci-fi film and Star Wars came up, it would be a film I would consider watching. But I wouldn't be like one of those Nazi people who are like, no.
Wow, Terminator 6. There's a Terminator 6 coming out later on the year.
Yep.
With Sarah Connor and everyone's back.
Yeah.
I think I should probably talk about the Predator film for just a moment there, because did you guys see the end bit where the suit comes out? I wanted Schwarzenegger to be there.
Oh, it's going to come out of that spaceship.
No, but even if it was a CGI thing like they had in Salvation,
What's the news about Schwarzenegger making him? What happened there?
But I wouldn't have wanted him to be like the sort of present day Schwarzenegger, but specifically the version of Schwarzenegger that was in Predator, because he was the first guy who successfully buggered up a Predator and stuff like that. Yeah, but I would have liked him to have come up and just remove the helmet and just go, and then say a Schwarzenegger line.
Get to the chopper.
Or they do like they did in, at the end of Age of Ultron, where he's just about to say that phrase, and then it cuts to the credits. Yeah, he'll be like, "Hasta credits," or something like that, or like, "I'm credits."
Hasta la vista, cut.
Yeah, something like that.
Hellboy, the new Hellboy.
Oh, that
it's kind of a different take on the.
It looks good, but I can't help but feel I prefer the original. Yeah, but I understand he's an old guy now, but he did it well.
He's still making movies. He made that Weird Fish one.
Oh yeah, but he did Hellboy well. Yeah, but I think if anybody was to do Hellboy after this guy, it would always be measured by how. It would always be measured against this guy's performance. So if this new guy isn't as good as him, the film will be a complete disappointment.
Yeah. No, I do get it. I do like the tone they're going with this really fun.
Yeah, because the point about Hellboy is that he doesn't give a crap about anything. He just wants to shoot things.
It really shows in this trailer.
Yeah.
And I really like the music as well.
Oh yeah.
I downloaded the piece straight away.
I did like the the bit where he climbs out of the pit and he's got the full horns and the crown and everything. That bit looks epic. But if they did an IMAX version of that,
maybe they're kind of moving away from the weirdness of the older films, like the more fantasy kind of older films, and kind of bringing it down to grounded,
because the original the original Hellboy movie, the first one, that was serious as fuck.
Yeah, that was serious. The second one kind of became more fantasy.
Mainly because he spends half of the movie plastered, and stuff like that. So, what's next?
Last one, is Aladdin, live action Aladdin.
Yeah, I could take that or leave it, to be honest.
It depends on how well they do it.
How good they do the main song.
I'm in two minds about it.
Yeah, the theatre. I saw the theatre production, and it was good, aside from the girl who played Jasmine. Yeah, because you sort of pitched Jasmine as like a stereotypical Disney princess, and the person that they had in the theatre was a complete chav.
So it was a white girl playing them?
No, not a white girl, a chav. Yeah, who basically says "think cut" and stuff like that, and does the head thing and stuff like that. Yeah, real attitude-y, not theatre-worthy sort of character.
I'm more curious about Will Smith as the genie.
He's still going to be blue.
I could see that, because the genie is very much like characters that Will Smith plays.
Yeah. That's more curious about that than I don't know the actors or actresses.
Because, I think the last serious character that he played, aside from Deadshot, that I've seen is in After Earth, the film that he did with his son. And he was terrible in that. Utterly terrible.
No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be more like it's going to be him like Fresh Prince.
Yeah, that's
Genie, Fresh Prince.
No, but he'll be making black puns and stuff like that. So, yeah, but I could see him doing that and it working. in an Aladdin film.
No, I think they're just going to keep it more close to like Robin Williams kind of style, but make it more like Fresh Prince kind of attitude.
But again, I could see it if he doesn't match what Williams put out.
It's going to be
then the entire film is going to be a flop.
Yeah, it's going to be like some formula.
Just as long as he doesn't make some reference to the theme song or something. That's in the middle of the movie. He's in the cave doing the song, and then he breaks out into some Fresh Prince piano music or something.
He's done it on the Graham Norton show.
Yeah, but you never had a friend like me.
I think last serious film he did was like I'm Legend. I think
he done one for Netflix, didn't he?
Right. That was good. Yeah.
Was that good?
Yeah. I liked it.
Same director from
It was it was a film that didn't go anywhere. If that makes sense, it had a good premise and then did nothing with it. But the build up to
the second one.
but the build up to that was really Endgame. Yeah,
Infinity War just really because Infinity War wasn't there a film called Infinity War Part 1 or was it called Infinity War?
It was original when it was in the movies. Then cinema it was Part 1 in some places.
Or is it?
But if you went onto Odeon.com or something and typed in Avengers, it would come up with Avengers Infinity War Part 1.
Oh, so it's actually called Infinity War.
But Pirates of the Caribbean did that as well. The latest one that came out. At one point it was called Dead Man's Chest, and then another time it was called something else.
Yeah, because in this country, you can't call it Avengers. It's called Avengers Assemble.
Oh, by the way, we live in Britain. We're British.
We live in...
Ray isn't, he's a hermit.
What's that hermit?
A guy who lives on top of a hill.
He's an Asian hermit.
The alias person is sorry.
But yeah, I see what you mean. Like, if they were going to call it anything, they should have just called it Infinity War Part 2. Because it's
something cooler,
not Well, it's the Part 2 film to Part 1.
Yeah, so. Like an iPhone game.
I mean, is there any particular reason why we wouldn't want to watch that? Yeah, but
it's just. I didn't like Avengers. It's just a space thing. It's just too spacey. I don't know. Maybe
too sci-fi.
Yeah, it's too sci-fi because usually all the Avengers are more. Did you find out when you watched Avengers? It was a bit too much Guardians of the Galaxy and less.
Not really.
I do see what you mean. It
kind of started with like very grounded, then it kind of became more fantasy and.
I think if they did a Guardians of the Galaxy film where parts of the space stuff that they did was covered, because at the beginning of the film, Thanos already has one of the stones, and they basically just said, "Oh, he just did that in some event that we were never going to see or have." Which is obviously super important, but we've never referenced it before now. Sort of points, and I think if they did a movie, I don't know, even if they called it Thanos or something like that, and it's basically him going up against various forces and acquiring 2 or 3 of the stones already, and then going to Earth and doing the Avengers Infinity War. Well, we do know that Chris Evans and Junior and is it Hemsworth as well? They don't want to do any more.
Well, I heard Hemsworth, his contract's coming up.
Yeah.
Chris Evans, his contract's coming up. I think he wants to do a bit more directing. I'm not sure about Downey Jr.
Well, he's said that this is his last movie, hasn't he? But I've got a prediction, and because I've predicted it, I'll be really pissed off if they did it. I basically think that, they're going to assemble what's left of their team, go after Thanos, kick his ass in some form or another, and then get the gauntlet, and because the gauntlet is damaged, they can only bring so many people back.
Thanos didn't get hurt with the axe through... That's kind of when...
but whenever he did the click, the gauntlet got all fried up and torn up and stuff.
The axe was in his chest.
Yeah, and he was perfectly fine with it.
Because in the end, when he was walking into the sun, I thought he was kind of weak and stuff.
I don't think Thanos himself is going to be a problem, if that makes sense.
I mean, he is.
So,
because his gauntlet is broken.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like,
Captain
America just slap him.
Yeah, so like, his gauntlet is really fucked at this point.
Yeah.
And I get the feeling that they can only bring so many people back. I don't know, Chris Evans, Captain America and Iron Man or something, they choose to sacrifice themselves into dusting so they could bring back other people.
So Captain America, live or die?
Live but retire.
I would say die.
Die. I would say die.
Jack?
To be fair, I didn't really like him much, so...
Die.
Either Thor, live or die.
I would say...
I think Thor's going to stay.
I would say he will probably stay, simply because he's got so much stuff that he now needs to do. Because Asgard is gone, his people are floating somewhere in space now, and nobody seems to give a crap about them.
I'll say live,
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say live as well.
Okay, Iron Man?
Die.
I think they're probably going to keep him.
Well, the thing that I find really stupid is that days after the trailer came out, a petition was put to NASA to legitimately go and save him. But you can Google this. People were actually petitioning the legit NASA to go and save Tony Stark from space because he only had so many hours of oxygen and stuff left. Yeah, and their argument was, the main argument behind this was that they spent about $3 billion saving Matt Damon from Mars and the Martian, so therefore they should do the same for Robert Downey Jr.
This is just amazing. Wow, people really come together. There's no good ones then, apart from the trio.
I would...
Black Widow, I really don't care much.
Well, Black Widow's got her own solo film coming up, so...
she's dead anyway.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I would imagine Hawkeye, or Ronan as he'll probably be now, or Ronin, or however you pronounce it. But
I just want that guy to live. Remember in Avengers 1? There's one of the staff in the helicopter, not the big flying thing.
Calicara.
Yeah, and there's a guy who just played video games.
Oh,
yeah.
That's what he was live. Just there, looking at everyone serious.
What's that? Well,
that's the only guy I want to live.
Well, in the immediate aftermath of Infinity War, people actually went to the directing team in interviews and basically said, "Is this character alive? Is this character alive? Is this character alive?" And it was not important characters at all. They wanted to know if the guy that Matt Damon cameoed in whenever he was doing the theatre production of Loki's death, they wanted to know if he survived.
I'm even facing the way this guy survived. Just when Thanos clicks his finger, he's just turned into dust. He's facing David. And
just as he fades away, he got the high score.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too well.
But that's something I've been wondering for a while, because, Loki had an entire army of mercs, in Avengers 1, but then when the Battle of New York happens, not one of those mercs is to be seen anywhere. He's obviously still got guys, because he's obviously set up this giant thing, and...
they're robots, aren't they?
No, they were legit people.
But didn't they go down when the ship went down? The guys...
Most of them did. Most of them did, but there were the people who were transporting the big beamy shooty up thing. Yeah, and now I'm not talking about the robots. I'm talking about the human people who were siding with him and who raided the helicarrier.
Oh, those ones who've been possessed.
Yeah, I want to know what happened to them because they just vanish and nothing happens to them after that.
Wait, there were other guys, weren't there?
Yeah.
They just died.
Yeah, but it's not like...
It's weird, Hawkeye's USB stick. I was like, my porn and everything, you can get it. Just go home, my laptop.
Oh, it'll just be... but he's just at his computer watching his porn and stuff like that, and then Nick Fury comes along and is like, "We need to talk to you about your browser history." It's like, "No, you don't."
Space Invasion's guy, yeah, he would live. Who's the other one? Black Panther. Come back.
He has to come back.
Yeah,
he
was originally meant to die, but the thing is, Black Panther did well.
Yeah, you don't.
So he has to come back.
You don't kill off an Oscar-winning actor.
I didn't think it was going to go well.
Just imagine Wesley Snipes as Black Panther.
I need blood. He just swings swords everywhere.
Well, some guy tries to stab him. He's like,
"Why are you killing black people?"
He's like, "Are you out of your mind?"
They're zombies. No, they're people of Wakanda. You must respect them. No, just killing everyone, drinking blood.
They'll just come up to, Killmonger will just come up. "I'm here to jump." Say what?
Silver bullet. Just shoot him.
"I'll come to reclaim my kingdom." Bang.
Wesley Snipes can reclaim a kingdom. Not as Blade, just Wesley Snipes himself. From Demolition Man, Wesley Snipes with the golden hair.
He'll be like, "Weren't you in jail?" "Yeah, tax evasion." Bang.
90s Wesley Snipes can. Who else is gonna? I think everyone is. Spider-Man is gonna come back.
Yeah, Spider-Man's gonna come back.
Ant-Man is there because they need to make more Ant-Man.
Yeah, but we know Ant-Man's alive from the trailers and watching the second Ant-Man film.
Guardians has left. One of the Batista, he has left.
Yeah.
He joined now the DC universe.
Yeah, but Guardians I could sort of live or take or leave.
Guardians, it's got that kind of charm, kind of.
I mean, Vision is got a massive hole in his head now. So
Vision is dead.
Yeah, but there is a version of Vision where he's whenever he died he went all silvery and grey and stuff. There is a version of him where that is his costume. But it's possible that he'll remain as Vision and then but
he's dead.
But they might just but Hawkeye might come along with his USB port and just plug it into his head and
just wakes up.
Yeah, he'll just wake up and big ass titties.
Big ass titties.
Yeah.
Ass and titties.
But Scarlet Witch,
Scarlet Witch, I don't really never cared about her character. She's just
too nice.
Well, I don't think anything particular will happen to him, but I would want Hulk to be the dominant of the two in this next movie.
I think Endgame is going to open, and Hulk is just going to beat the shit out of Thanos.
Yeah,
because he hasn't got a gun anymore.
Yeah, it'll just be
Hulk's Hulk smash.
It'll just be they'll walk into the room, Banner will just Thanos, and just run at him.
It'll be like Loki, isn't it? He just smacks him on the floor a couple of times.
Yeah, and then Thanos will just try and backhand him, and it will just stop, and it'll be Banner holding it up, and it will just turn green.
Will just have the Thor's hammer in his chest. He's they're stay for.
I don't think anything's gonna happen Hulk and Black Widow now. I think that's successfui died a death and should just be left to die.
Kind of do a romance.
Yeah, that was cringy. I have to say that weirded me out. So,
I kind of like it.
I think that was just there more for comedy effect, though. That's the thing.
I know, but
it was a bit weird.
But I mean, they could have just gone the normal romance route, but instead they decided to go 1920s Chicago themed romance. Yeah, it's the sort of thing that fetish people that I work with.
What's a girl like you working in a place like this?
Yeah, that was just weird. I just didn't get that.
That was just more funny than Fast and Furious.
Alright, I think that's a good place to bring us to a close.
So I think that should be around 7 minutes.
Alright, guys, thanks for listening, watching, this thing's on YouTube.
Watching.
Alright, thanks for watching, guys.